Let me try again.
Okay, it's all you. It's recorded. Take the screen.
Oh, okay, cool beans. All right, yeah, guys, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Aurea. I appreciate the opportunity to address the group. And I pretty much just want to, set the record straight. I am not an IML educator. I am not a professional trader. I am a fellow iMarkets Live subscriber. I do have a group. I'm very pleased to be able to have been able to get my scholarship, and I built a group to a P1000. But my main focus is trading, learning how to trade. And not that there's anything wrong with building a group. That's just Larissa Hines from Australia. How are you, my dear? So that's just not the topic of conversation for tonight. And Aurea is actually a goddess when it comes to building a group and supporting the network and so on and so forth. So if you have any concerns, reach out to her. She's constantly in touch with the group. She's there to support whomever. You don't have to be in her downline. You just have to be in IML, and she goes out of her way to help everybody. And that's really one of the reasons that gets me excited about this whole platform is everyone's out to help everyone. Because to be honest, in a $5 trillion a day market, there's more than enough for everybody. If every single one of us pulls down $100 million today, the market wouldn't even know. So I'm good with that, all right? So yeah, and basically, I worked for many, many years as a mechanical engineer. I barely graduated high school because I have several learning disabilities. I've been dealing with dyslexia and other stuff my whole life. So I actually focus on GBP pairs because there's only 3 numbers. I have less than I could screw up. So if you're concerned about math and adding and subtracting pips and all that kind of stuff, believe me when I tell you, there's a way, right? There's an absolute way to get it done. So if you're brand new and pips are an anomaly and you don't know what I'm talking about, we just go over to a Daisy Duncan, get into your training, and just go over it and go over it and go over it. Because believe me when I tell you, at the end of March, it'll be a year that I'm involved in this training platform. And there are things for the first 2 or 3 months that I struggle with every day now have become second nature. And I promise you that the same is available to you as well. Because I would imagine most of you guys, you drive your car, whether you have work or school or wherever you go, there are times when you get in your car and you have your cup of coffee and you have your tunes on or you're listening to whatever you're listening to, and you end up at work and you don't even remember the drive. It's just like muscle memory. But if you think back to the first day you were taking maybe a high school class or whatever, learning how to drive, the very first time you sat down behind the wheel and you looked at all that stuff, you got pedals, I got knobs, I got dials. I'm never going to figure this out. And I'm hoping I don't bump into anything, right? So I promise you the learning curve is a learning curve no matter what the topic. So another thing I want to relay to everyone is the market is a really big, bad, angry place sometimes. The market is manipulated. The market is not a happy environment to go and play in, especially if you're a novice. So I want to allay whatever fears people might have and say, listen, thanks to IML, we do not have to master the market. We don't have to master the market. I don't need 35 years experience to hit 6 figures in my trading account. I need to master the tools. My favorite tool is the harmonic scanner. It takes a lot of the work away. And I'm going to click over there, and you should see my scanner up on my account right now. So this is my beautiful wife. For those of you know, Olgie, right? And we have my IML Academy, Swipe Trades, IML TV, all phenomenal things. But I'm going to click on my harmonic scanner. Boom. Now I put my username in there. I'm going to type in a password. Can I ask you all, pardon me, can I ask, Pardon me as I choke. Can I ask you all to mute your mics? Thank you. So here, now we're on the harmonic scanner. So what in the world is this, right? Don't get all concerned about, you know, X and A and C and the 1.56 and the 963 and all this math. The really cool thing about this, can everyone see the screen okay? We good? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
All right, great. The really cool thing about this is the market is a fractal environment, which means it's cyclical, which means it repeats itself, which means really, really, really smart people in math who aren't dyslexic can figure out an algorithm that says when this happens and that happens and this happens and this happens and that happens and this thing happens, we're going to go into a buy. That's all I need to know. This sucker is about to go into a buy. And what pair is this? This is Audi USD. Okay? So one of the first things I do, I'm going to come over and click a broker. And I like scanning the longer time periods because I find them to be a bit more true to life in terms of finding the trend in the trade. You know, if they're trending up, if they're trending down, if they're in a consolidation, you know, that shows up more on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and the 1 day. If you're a scalper and you want to play in 15 minutes, that's all good. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you focus some time scalping and you learn your entries and exits and scalping, that translates to all the other time frames. In my opinion, my little Italian opinion, scalping is the most difficult of all things because it requires you to have a surgical strike. I need to get in here, I need to get out of there. And when I was getting started, I found that scalping drove me crazy. It made me nervous, is very nervous, we'll put it that way. And here's why. I was nervous because of my relationship with money. I'm going to say it again. I was nervous because of my relationship with money. What do you mean? Well, I didn't want to lose any money. So I was hesitant. I was reading charts. I was questioning myself because I was so focused on the dollar, I lost track of the process, right? So when we're looking at this harmonic scanner, this algorithm is part of a process. Here down below, this is an RSI, relative strength index. When the RSI is up in this area above 70, the pair is overbought. Everybody and their mother bought it. When you go to an auction and everybody bought something and nobody else wants to buy it, what do you got to do to get people to buy what everybody else already has? You got to lower the price. So, being that we're in this overbought condition, this RSI shows over time, I'm going into a sell. And then what happens? Everybody and their mother went and sold. And what did they do? They got in on the sell and they're collecting their profit on the way down. Well, I got my money out, boom. So when people collected their profit, now there's a whole nother group of people and say, man, that pair is really low. That's a good deal. Let me go get some of that good deal. And what happens? That drives it back up to oversold. Fractal. It happens over and over and over and over. And obviously, we all know that on an M15 time frame, each candle is worth 15 minutes. So why am I talking about all that stuff? Because the key is, especially when you're scalping, your entry and exit is vital. Because you can get the right call, you can be on the right side of the trade and screw up your entry or screw up your exit and still lose. That really bites. Because you go through the whole thing and you figure it out and say, okay, I got this, I got my stop loss down here, and here's my current price. I'm coming up, the market is rolling over into a buy. Nice and nice. This is my entry point. Here's another entry point. My price hit my entry point. So if I got in right on my entry point, boom, I got a bunch of pips already in my pocket. But now, using the same type of methodology, that same type of thinking, if you operate on longer time frames, let's go and do, okay, this is just NZD, just for the heck of it. Okay, so now this is over a longer period of time. I'm on my 1 hour chart. So obviously each candle is worth an hour. And you see how this market rolled over time? Boom, 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 boom. Now, what is this telling me? Anyone hear of a teacup? It comes up here, it's gonna go up to here, and it's gonna drop like a rock. Boom, that's a teacup. So what it's doing here, being at the entry, oh, hold on, let me scrunch my thing over here, right? Being that my entry here is above price and my take profit is below the price, whenever the take profit is below the price, you're going into a sell. When the take profit is above the price, you're going into a buy. So I set my stop loss at the recommended level, and I get in at this entry level. But what happened? This actually missed the entry. You mean it could be wrong? Yes, it could be wrong. It's good about 80–85% of the time. That's pretty darn good. This is where risk management comes into play. If I keep on trading the same lot size over and over and over and over, I put in 1,000 trades at a same lot size, and let's say I only won 6 out of 10. Will you be in profit or will you be in loss? If you always use the same lot size. If you always use the same lot size and always set the same stop loss, statistically, you only have to be good 6 out of 10 times. How cool is that? What if your boss told you, listen, you can show up at work and for 6 out of 10 days, right, you got to do your job correctly. 4 out of 10 days, you can screw the whole thing up. How long are you going to stay employed? Not so much, right? So here, using these tools in an organized way with the appropriate risk management, you can extract money from the market in a very metered, careful, calculated way. So tell me, what's that way? It's called a trading plan. It's called a trading plan. If you're trading live money and you do not have a written trading plan, I trade on this day, at this time, this session. I prefer sells to buys. Why do I prefer sells to buys? I'll tell you right now. Because human beings panic. And if you look at the charts, you'll see when something goes into a sell, it usually drops like a rock. I want my money, I want to get out, right? So I want to earn my pips, I want to be out of that market as quick as I possibly can, because the longer you're in the market, the longer your trade or your position is at risk. So my preference is trading sells. I do GBP pairs. Why? Because I'm freaking dyslexic. I can barely say GBP, right? I only got to deal with 3 numbers. It makes my life very happy. But even that being said, when you learn the system and the process and you learn these tools, you have the opportunity with continued education to make a profit. And that's pretty much what we're all here for, right? Make a profit. This is just not an exercise in entertainment. I know I'm good looking and you like watching me in the little video thing, but I'm not here for my freaking health or for my good looks. I'm here to give you some information that I spent a year learning to perhaps cut some time off your learning curve. Now, the first thing, or the most primary thing I'm going to encourage each and every one of you to do is get into IML TV, find an IML educator that you relate to. because each different strategy, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of trading strategies, and they actually all reflect the person's personality, their appetite for risk, their account size. If you're coming into this market with a $25,000 account size, you could do some swing trading. You've got some room to go red. I don't like riding the red bus. Anyone ever been on the red bus? I don't like the red bus. I want to go blue. I want to get in and go blue, right? So if you're a scalper and you have a $500 account, right, you don't have a whole lot of room to go red. There's no room there. By the time it comes back, how many people have heard, don't worry, what goes up must come down? Anyone ever hear that? Well, don't worry, what goes up must come down. By the time that thing comes back down, you'd be broke. So let me run through this real quick and show you some cool stuff. Again, one of my favorite tools. So I'm going to come over, pardon me, I'm overcoming a little viral thing right now. I'm going to kick its butt. So I'm going to go to scan for 1 hour, 4 hour, and 1 day. I'm going to click that puppy. Now, these are all the different pairs that are what? That are in motion. The harmonic scanner is actually a scalping tool to identify pairs that are in motion. It's in motion on a shark pattern. It's in motion on a deep crab. It's in motion on a butterfly, a gartling. What they're talking about is the actual configuration of these price points and relationships over time. You don't have to memorize any of that stuff. What you gotta do is pick one. I like picking the top ones. Me personally, I don't trade the Swiss franc. It's not that I don't like the Swiss. It's not that I don't like francs. It's just that the Swiss market is so freaking tiny that it takes a long time to get motion, to get movement. So pretty much I ignore Swiss franc. That's not, I'm saying for you to do that, that's what I do. So here's some cool stuff going on. Let's look at this. We're saying Euro NZD. It's got a shark going on. And then we also have NZD and USD. Got a shark going on. So what is it telling me? It's telling me these two sets, these two pairs are in motion. So if the Euro NZD is, wow, that was scary. Whoever that is, please mute yourself. So if Euro NZD is in motion and NZD in USD is in motion, what about we neutralize or we cancel out the NZDs and we take a look at Euro USD? So as a matter of course, as a matter of math, if this is moving and this is moving, well, then USD and Euro's got to be moving. So for every two pairs that have a common factor, we have what's called an arbitrage trade that we can look at. But for now, we're just going to do a standard, I don't know, just going to pick Euro CAD. No particular reason why, I just freaking picked it. So let's see what happened here. This was called as a sell because the stop loss is above the price. And you'll see my entry was achieved on this wick on your market set go. I'm in on the sell and la-di-da. Let's do some measuring. Let's see, I got in over here and I'm down over here. That's 43 pips. Who's happy now? I'm very happy. Now, a little Tommy logic. I really like winning. I like winning a lot. It's not that losing is so bad because you learn a lesson from losing. I just rather win. So for me, when I look at something like this, I want to play in this, what I call the safe zone. I made that term up. Nobody else in the foreign exchange or anybody I know use that term. That's a little Tommy Raviel Italian brain saying this. I feel this is a safe zone. Because what happened? You'll notice that here we have a flat top. The price started going down. We went to a flat bottom, it reversed, flat top, it came down. So in here, people are having a freaking heart attack. If you got in here and you're doing this, that's 6 pips. That's 8 pips. That's 8.5 pips. You know what Tommy is? Tommy's already out because I'm playing for 5 pips. You know, Dr. K does this 10 pip and dip thing. I'm like, give me 5 and stay alive. Out. Why? Why do I do my 5? Because I go in with the biggest, baddest lot size my account will handle without over leveraging. So we'll have some fun with numbers. People say, well, Tommy, how are you going to make money like that? You're only getting like 5 pips at a time. Yeah, well, I do it 10 times a session. So if you do that 10 times a session, 5 pips at a time, and you're winning 9 out of 10, you're a happy guy. And that's my little own thing. It might not be your thing. I'm not telling you to do that thing. That's what I like doing. So I also have a little Tommy rule that when I win 3 trades in a row, I get up. And if I'm on the 1 hour chart, I leave for an hour. If I'm on the 15-hour chart, the 15-minute chart rather, I leave for 15 minutes. I walk away. Why? Because that gets my little Italian ego back in check. I ain't that big. I'm not so smart. I'm not that big and bad. The market will win if I screw up my mindset. So I get up and I walk away. If I lose 3 in a row, I shut it off for the day. That's it. I'm done. Something's not clicking. I don't know what the problem is, but obviously I'm losing. I don't like losing. So I just shut it off. I'm done for the day. I'll come back and fight another day, right? So that's a little strategy that I like employing. But now let's do a little more discussion about some other things that we might do. Because if you're planning to be a scalper, right, this is on the 1 hour chart. It's not really a scalp, but especially if you're planning to be a scalper, entries are critical. So here, if you come up to indicators and type in SAR, S-A-R, SAR, parabolic SAR, stands for stop and reverse. How cool is that? What if you could tell the whole thing to stop? Stop. I want to check out what's going on. So we come over here and we do some formatting. And I run 2 SARs. I change this to 0.03 and 0.03. This should be 0.2. I'll come over to style. And I'm going to change this color, my personal preference, yellow, and I leave it kind of small. And I go like this. Now, I don't use a white screen. I use a dark screen. So let me come over here and do properties and do background and hit my background and go darker. Let me go darker yet. Okay, cool. And horizontal grid line. Like that. Okay, so we still got our grid. So does everyone see this little yellow? Can you see these guys, or do I have to get closer? See the little yellow star, the little yellow cross? Shoot up a flare. Can you see it? Okay. A SAR stands for stop and reverse. So when the SARs are on top of the price, it's going into a sell. And when the SARs are on the bottom of the price, it goes into a buy. Huh. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger just so you guys can see it. If I can find out where it got to. Huh. That's unusual. I don't know what happened. Okay.
Hey, Tommy?
Yeah.
Someone is asking that they can't see numbers that you're setting. Is there a possibility that that can be zoomed out so they can see the numbers?
Yeah, let me do this. Let me move from this chart over to this chart, which is basically, see, the harmonic scanner is built on a trading view chart. So they are exactly the same. So for this portion, I'm going to go to my normal chart where the colors are more visible. Can everybody see that now? Yes? So what I do is I get the trade off the harmonic scanner. I know it's going to go into a buy. I know it's going to go into a sell. Then I'll come over here in Trading View and I apply my standard set of tools that I like to use. So here, that's my SAW. And it's set at 0.03, pardon, 0.02, 0.03, and 0.2 is yellow. Everybody got that? Yellow, yellow, yellow. Everybody happy? Cool, cool, cool. Inputs, those are the numbers. Here's the style. And we got crosses. Happy, happy, happy. Well, big crosses. Okay, so you could do this and say save as default.
All right, fellas.
So I like to actually use two SARs. So I have a red SAR, and my red SAR is set at 0.06, 0.06, 0.2. And what happens is the red SAR flips first, followed by the yellow SAR. The red SAR goes first. It's a faster acting SAR. And I'll show you. Can everybody still see my chart? So this is what I'm talking about. SARs are stop and reverse. You'll notice when they pop up, there's a lot of distance between the candle and the SAR. And then they will slowly migrate and get closer. And when they touch the price, they flip over. So when I see a bat, a sharp, or whatever that's going into a sell, and I flip on my SARs, and I see one SAR on top and one SAR on the bottom, I know I'm too early. My SAR has not flipped yet, right? So in this case, if this were on the harmonic scanner, this would be calling a buy. Boom, 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 buy. So am I going to get in here when I have a split SAR? No. And look what happened. The price was really narrow, and there's a little confused. I don't know if I'm going up, I'm going down. So I have my SARs helping me out, saying, all right, dude, look, I got both my SARs on the game, and now I'm in. Then when I see my red SAR flip, now I'm getting out. This is me. This is the way I trade, okay? So if I'm in this for like a swing trade, a long-term trade, if I'm just not grabbing 5 pips and running, that's my out. When the SAR flips, get out. That's just me, okay? So another tool that I like using is the BB Awesome. If you come over here to indicators, oh, this is on the TradingView platform. I'm not here saying everyone needs to get a TradingView platform, but I made a decision that I wanted to have a higher level of professionalism in trading. So I paid an extra couple of dollars a month, and I take my indicator from my harmonic scanner, and I just go into a little more depth and zero in on my entries and my exits, okay? So if you type in BB Awesome. Where'd he go? Oh, maybe it's Bollinger. This is by John Bollinger, B-O-L-L-I-N-G-E-R. Yeah, see, this is the hardest part for me is spelling and doing this. B-O-L-L-I-N-G-E-R. Bollinger Bands.
Tommy, can you make that bigger? Like, so we can see the letters?
No, that's a standard guy. Bollinger Bands.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay,
Look
thank you.
under your favorites, Tommy. It might be there.
What?
Look under your favorites in the setting. You may have already set it to your favorites
Oh, yeah.
in the public library.
Indicators.
Thanks, Debbie.
Debbie's
You're welcome.
Wizard. Yes, thank you, Debbie. She saves my butt all the time. Okay, so you see here the Bollinger Awesome Alert R1 by Just Uncle L. That's the one I use. So I'll say it again. Type in Bollinger Awesome Alert, and it should pop up. You hit the little starry thing, and then you have it. So the reason why I do that is because I'm a pretty visual kind of guy. Here, it's telling me to buy. But now, which pair are we doing? Here's another dynamic about trading. Does anybody here trade the news? If trading the news is not in your trading plan, if you don't have a trading the news strategy, don't trade the news. So, why am I bringing that up? Pardon me, why am I bringing it up? Because this is the Great British Pound. All week long, what have they been talking about on the news? Tell me. Brexit.
Yeah.
Right here, someone got bit real bad because Theresa May sneezed. Oh, she said this? Wait a minute, I'm out. But for the majority of the time, let me come to a less volatile pair. GBP JPY is the most volatile pair on the planet. Let's USD USD CAD. USD CAD is really good on Wednesdays and Thursdays because they make a lot of announcements with oil and stuff. And it's a very happy pair. But you'll see here, this is playing nice. My Bollinger, once my Bollinger, my price goes past my midline, I'm going to get my buy signal, and I proceed. Why is this important? Because in my harmonic scanner, this is being called out as a buy. But over here, you might look at it, the bat or whatever it is might be back here, and you're down here in consolidation. I don't really like to call this consolidation. You know what I call this? I call this patience. I'm in patience right now. Over here, patience, patienzia. Be patient. There's not enough movement. I haven't made up my mind where I want to go yet. I played a breakout. Get paid. This is patience. This is get paid. Patience, get paid. Patience, get paid. Patience, get paid. Everybody with me on that? Patience, get paid. If you're impatient, you're handing them your money. I promise you. Promise you. You're just going to just give it to them. Just open up the window of your car and throw it out there because that's what's going to happen. Another thing. Please take this one piece of advice. I promise you. If you don't have a written trading plan, you need to be in demo. You need to stay in demo until you have a written trading plan and you have doubled or tripled your trading account. You stay in demo until you have a written trading plan and you've doubled or tripled your trading account. Why? Because who you want to learn these lessons on? You want to learn these lessons on monopoly money or those Benjamin Franklins you broke your butt to get? When you're trading in demo, you're learning the very, very same lesson, the very, very same skill set that will translate over to dollars when you go live. Ed Blunt tells a story all the time. I don't remember the lady's name, but there was a woman in this group who stayed in demo for like 4.5 months. And to be honest, some of the people in the group were like, she's still in demo, man. I don't know what's up with her. She's still in demo. Oh, man. Yeah, she's not real. She's in demo. Yeah, well, the first week she went live, she made $4,500. And I think she's winning 9 out of 10 as a general rule. Are you okay with being in demo for 4 months? So I started out doing really well, but I didn't understand over leveraging, and I lost about $5,000. And I'm like, man, I gotta get my stuff together. So I went back into demo for like 6 months. And it was demo. And then I took $100 and built it up to like 30,000. Now, everyone's results are different. No one's promising you a dime, And those are very, very, very modest results. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I spent the time in demo. Demo, I say this all the time. Demo is the gymnasium of the foreign exchange. Where do you go to work out? Go in the gym. Where do you go to work out in the foreign exchange? Get your butt in demo. If you're a professional athlete, do you practice more than you play? Yeah. If you're a professional golfer, do you practice more than you play? Yeah. So if you're learning a new strategy, if you're learning a new tool, if you're going to anything that's not currently in your trading plan, you do it in demo. Do I have to say this anymore? Is everyone going to be in demo? Because what I do is I trade Mondays and Fridays in demo. Why? Tell me why you do that. Because I want you to understand the market is a global entity. And central banks, hedge fund managers, people who play with large sums of money, they trade in lots of a million. I'll say it again. They trade in lots of a million. When they enter their trade, the price jumps 3 pips. When they push the button, these people have an agenda. They look at the bank, there's a rule. In order for you to be a reserve bank, you have to have the 8 major currencies on reserve. They got to be in your bank. What are they? CAD, JPY, NZD. You feel me? USD. I need them. Euro. Got to have them. So somebody gets on the phone and say, dude, we're running out of hundreds. Go buy USD. Put in a lot size of a million. Poof. What does that do to the price? It goes crazy. So you have to understand, right now in Asia, people waking up. They're getting started. They're having their coffee, and they're getting their marching orders. Someone is whispering in someone's ear right now, hey, dude, the Aussie dollar, we're running short on Aussie dollars. Go buy me some Aussie dollars. So if I'm going to trade on that side of the world, what pairs am I looking at? I'm looking at JPY, Aussie, NZD. Why? Because those people are awake. They're transferring money right now. People in Germany, what are they doing? They sleeping. London, they sleeping. Us. Crazy people like us, we're on a freaking webinar at whatever, God o'clock at night. I don't even know what time it is, right? So you're trading USD now? No, all the banks are closed. So we need to understand that these are just not numbers on a chart. They're just not relationships between dollars that don't mean anything. They actually represent the relationships of people and people's habits. When people get scared, what do? They want to protect their assets. The number one rule of trading is protect your bank. When you go into a trade, your number one job, I got to protect my account, number one. Boom. I can grow my account by 10% today, I'm winning. If I didn't lose anything today, awesome. Protect the account, right? So that's why I prefer doing sells. Because I'm watching these guys. Here, let's come to the chart. Everyone's happy, happy, happy. I'm in my buy. Oh, I'm doing my patience, consolidation. I don't know where I want to go. Somebody said something, whatever. I'm in my Bollinger, and the market is now rolling over. But look how it dropped. Boom. I can go and get my 5 pips. I can look at this again. When I take my 5 pips, I start all over again. Do I still have a flat top? Yes. Cool. I'm getting back in again for another 5. Maybe I'll take 10 on this move, but I don't get greedy. When I see this thing come over here and hit the midline, I don't know if it's going to bounce up or come back. I don't know if it's going to bounce up or come back, come this way, right? What are my SARs telling me? My SARs are still in good shape that it's going to drop. My SARs are still in good shape that it's going to drop. But what I did, I got a flat bottom now. Every time you see a flat bottom, price is going to go up. Every time you see a flat top, price is going to go down. There are people who trade like this. Boom, All right, boom. Where's my BB? Boom. Get out of there. On a naked chart. They're trading on a naked chart. And all they do is they're reading flat tops, flat bottoms, flat tops, flat bottoms. And this is what? What is this? This is freaking patience. This is a 3-minute chart, by the way. Let's go to 15 minutes. This is a session separator. This is the start of a new session. So this is going to bounce back and forth for about 20 pips until London opens. That's just the way it is. My flat top, look, write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. What I want to do is I want to talk to you about what I call the halftime report. So when I'm trading, I got my trade from my harmonic scanner. I'm in and I'm winning. How do I know when to get out? I'm taking my 5 pips and running like I stole them. But other people might want to squeeze out 10 or 20 or whatever, right? So I'm here on my 15-minute chart. Each candle is 15 minutes, not rocket science. This is my countdown timer for the candle. I have 1 minute and 21 seconds left on this candle. Why is that important? Well, if you look at where the price is at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, which is halftime on a 15-minute candle. What's halftime? 7 minutes and 30 seconds. What's halftime on the 4-hour chart? 2 hours. What's halftime on the 30-minute chart? 15 minutes. It's at halftime. I look at the price at halftime. And if the price at halftime is in the lower section of the candle before, the odds are it's going down. Odds are, most typical move, it'll continue in that direction. If, in fact, at the halftime report, at the 7 minutes and not 29 seconds, not 30 seconds, 7 freaking minutes and 30 seconds. When you look at it at the halftime report, if I'm in the top half of the candle, most likely, most commonly, it will go up. So we're just going to leave this and see what it does. Because I'm going to show you some fun that I like having when I'm practicing. I call them crosshair trades. Now, my prediction here is my next couple of candles are going to go down. I think I'm going to come down into a sell. And that's only from a naked chart. What do? I got some patience. I roll down a little bit. I got some patience. I roll up, boom. So in my halftime report, I'm down at this lower side. So what I would do is I come over here like this, and I do my little text, and I go here and I put a big fat S. Boom. Let me make it big. 16. Here's my S. And the reason why I put my S there is because if I walk away and I forget, this will remind me. And this way I can't lie to myself and say, oh, yeah, well, I knew it was going to be a sell, but it was going to bounce back first. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this thing, the next couple of candles is going down. That's my prediction. So how? Everyone understands what RSI is, right? This is a currency strength indicator, CSA 5-step system. You can come over here into your indicators. I love you, Debbie. My favorites is CSA 5-step. I put that sucker on there. And what that is, that's 2 RSIs joined together at the hip. So US dollar will be green. You'll notice it's thicker than the red line. The base pair is thicker and the quote pair is thinner. So the Canadian dollar is red. So I have the Canadian dollar stronger than the US dollar. Who remembers the seesaw from Daisy Duncan, right? So if I have the Canadian dollar heavier or stronger, that points it down, right? It will point down into a sell. If USD is stronger, it's heavier, it points the pair up into a buy, okay? So now we're also in a time of day when we're in what's called the Tokyo channel. It's a 20 pip type of situation where I'm gonna come from here to there. There's 22 pips. It's gonna stay like that pretty much until maybe an hour or half an hour before London opens. It's just gonna flop around. So that's my prediction. If you guys want to mark up your chart or write down this number, and we'll see what happens just for, you know, fun with numbers and stuff like that. That's what I do. I practice like that all the time because I can do it real quick. I don't even have to exercise the trade. And I'm saying, I read this chart, I did my thing, blah, blah, blah. That's where I'm going. Now, why do I do this when I'm on the harmonic scanner? Time in this training was about the harmonic scanner. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, because the harmonic scanner is right 80 to 85% of the time, especially if you're scalping. It's a scalping tool. So if I start adding some of these other resources in my decision-making process, I get a better what? I get a better entry, I get a better exit. If I have a better entry and a better exit, do I have a better result? Well, yeah, right? If I take less pips and take the money like I stole it, what happens to my rate, my win rate? 15 out of 16, 25 out of 28, 66 out of 67. I like those numbers, right? So when you do this in demo, exercise the tool, and then when you go from demo, after doubling or tripling your demo account, after doubling or tripling your demo account, which is in direct proportion, direct correlation to how much money you're putting in when you get started. I got $1 million demo account. I'm putting $100 in. Can't wait to get started. Don't worry. If you're going to get started with $1,000, you demo with $1,000. If you're going to get started with $5,000, you demo with $5,000. Dr. K started with $40. Her account is in the hundreds of millions right now. Hundreds of millions right now after like 3 or 4 years, whatever it is. And results are not typical, disclaimer, 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 all that crap. But the fact of the matter is she started with $40 trading in 0.01 lots after she was in demo. Cool beans. All right, so we're not going to beat that to death because I just beat it to death. So here we go. Let's go back and see what this puppy is doing. I'm still at, here's my crosshairs where I got in. My price is above my entry, so I'm losing on this trade right now. But I'm at 9:30. I'm not at my 7:30 mark. So if this thing does close that over here, it's going to create a what? It's going to create a flat bottom, and it's going to bump up, and then it's going to come back down. That's just what it's going to do. So that's why I love practicing, right? So you're also going to notice that a candle, especially on the 15-minute chart, is going to pulse between 5 and 7 times. Unless there's a news announcement or something crazy is going on, you don't typically see candles just shooting to the moon. They go up a little bit, then come back, go up a little bit, and come back, up and back, up and back, up and back. There's going to be a time when we'll talk about some more sophisticated entries that I was taught, where you start doing buy stops and sell stops for the margin, right? For the spread, rather. If you look at the sell price and the buy price, 1.5 pips is the spread, right? So if I was going to get into this, let's say I think it's going to be a buy, what I would do is I would do a buy limit, and I would put it about 2 pips below the current price. So my buy limit means I limit the move in the opposite direction, I hit it, and I'm expecting it to bounce back. Why do I do that? I do that so I let the market pay my broker. If you do 1,000 trades and you're doing buy limits, sell limits, buy stop, sell stop, if you're letting the market come to you and the average spread is 1.5, 2 pips, and you did 1,000 trades, how many more pips do you have? 1,500 or 2,000, right? We'll talk about that in another time, but I do that all the time, especially when I do my entries on the harmonic scanner. So right now, 7, okay, so I just got killed on this. Here's my 7, my halftime report was bad because I was in the lower half of this candle at my halftime report. And what I mean by bad is I'm riding the red bus, okay? So right now I'm on the red bus. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, when you're in drawdown or when you're, you know, the price reverse on you, your account goes red, the numbers are red, that's the red bus. So right now I'm riding the red bus, but I have a very warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart because the price never made it to the top half of this candle. This candle's expired or about to expire. And the odds on this thing shooting up in the last half of my 15 minute is rare. Can it happen? Yes. Most likely to happen? Not so much. So I'm still sticking by my prediction and saying this price is going to go down. Okay? So why is this important? Tommy, I just want to use the freaking scanner. Go back to the scanner and show me the numbers. Yeah, it's not so hard to do. You just type in the numbers they tell you, and you can make a whole boatload of money like that. And the vast majority of people who use IML as a platform, that's what they signed up for. And we do a very, very good job of providing that service, whether it's in teacups, Gold Rush, I mean, product after product after product. If you just get good at using those tools, it's phenomenal, right? But where we get screwed up is our attachment to the money. And that's where our entries and exits come in. That's why I'm harping on this so much, right? So if I just go through the exercise and understand the moves of the candle and understand the flow of this fractal environment, this ebb and, you know, this up and down motion of this environment that we live in here, if I understand that and I look at the call they give me, I could look at a chart and say, I'm not touching that for 3 hours. Let me see. Let me come back over here. Let me spend a little more time on this side. I'm not going to lose this. I'm going to come back to this and we'll see, you know, what my little prediction thing is like. Because I'm not afraid of being wrong. I'm very happy to be wrong. I learn all the time. 1025. So I've been blabbing for a really long time. But I want to, let's do one more thing. Let's take this thing from the top. Okay, so I go in, I pick a broker, I pick the Trader's Weight guy, I go to the longer time frames. I like picking the top 3 or 4, they're the most current. Here I'm on a shark. Can everybody see this chart okay with the dark screen? Okay, so what's that telling me? Here is my entries. That's an entry, that's an entry. Hold on. That's even hard for me to see. Let me go back. Background. Boom. Whoop. Hate when that happens. Background. That guy. And say, okay. Thank you too much. Entry, entry, entry. Well, this is somewhat of an anomaly. Who could tell? Oh, no, there it is. Okay. That was me being lost. Okay. So when your stop loss is below the price, what are we expecting? A buy or a sell? Shout it out. We're expecting a buy. Because the stop loss is designed just to do that. Stop your loss. So if I'm losing in this direction, I should be taking profit in the other direction. Where's my sweet spot here? Where's my safe zone? For me, I want to see this thing take profit rather, 1 and go to 2, or right around in here. I bring in other tools, or I go to my other chart, which is, this is AUD CAD, right? In my world, I go here, I go AUD CAD, boom. And now I can give this very same chart, it's the same. There's the chart, there's the chart. This is a 1 hour chart, 1 hour chart. Now these puppies match. Same. But now what I could do is I could throw on my Bollinger Band. So what is my Bollinger Band saying? First of all, what kind of trade do we have here? We're looking for a buy. This is a shark, and the shark on the 1 hour chart is saying it's going to be a buy. So let me use this additional tool so I can better understand. Every time, as much as could be expected, when price closes out of the Bollinger Band, it's going to reverse. I'm on a 1 hour chart right now. What is this? It's a flat what? A flat bottom. What happens when you have a flat bottom? The price is going to do what? It's going to reverse. And if it reverses, it's going into a what? It's going into a buy. What did my harmonic scanner say? Told me the same stuff. So now I can take my harmonic scanner, I can add some additional tools. I'm going to turn on my SARs. Pretty nice and nice. And what is this telling me? This is telling me that it's setting up for a buy, but my SARs are still telling me sell. Well, what the hell does that mean, Tommy? It means, here's my entry. I'm in what? I'm in freaking patience. I'm at the time of day when I have patience because I have very small markets open. Most of the world is sleeping. The Asian markets, Australian markets, tiny markets are open. The little guys are open. I don't want to play, right? So my call is a buy going up. My SAR is in a sell, which is contradictory. So I'm not getting it. Can I ask you to please mute your mics, please, Kashmir? So that's a contradictory signal. So I don't play. When am I going to play? I'm going to play when my red SAR comes and touches price and flips over to a buy. My yellow SAR gets real close. By then, my price should be somewhere up in here, just over by the entry. I'll wait a little longer till I have a good move. I see my rollover, and now I'm getting in. And I'm getting in for what? Me, Tommy Raviel, my little Italian head, I'm taking 5 pips. I'm taking my 5 pips and running like I stole them. Why? Because I got them. They in my pocket. I added them to my account. I own them now. What does that do? If I keep on getting 5 and 5 and 5 and 5 and 5, now I can go to a bigger what? A bigger lot size. Understand something. I'm not in this deal. I didn't start doing this so I can trade in lot sizes of, micro lots. I want to trade in lot size of 100. What's a pip worth at a lot size of 100? Who can tell me what's a pip worth? Lot size of 100. Anybody know? $1,000. It's $1,000 per pip. Are you okay with grabbing 5 pips if each one is 1,000? That's the long game. That's why I like using the harmonic scanner. It gets rid of all my noise. It gives me some really cool choices. We all talk about good choices, right? I got some good choices now. I'm playing in an environment where I got some information. I have my standard RSI here. I know I'm over what? I'm oversold. The thing that you have to understand about oversold is just because it's oversold and pointing down now doesn't mean it's going to change. It could just flop around here for oversold for 10 candles. You don't get in until it makes its move and shows its hand and gets in the other direction, and you have some other indicators to confirm. Is any of this making sense to anybody, or am I pretty much just talking to my little self? Everybody good? Okay. So I have been going for a little while now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up to questions. For whatever reason, I cannot see the chat, and I don't know why. So if someone who can see the chat, or if someone has a question, just open up your mic and fire away. And if there's something I can do to help you, we're all about it. Or if you guys are just tired of hearing my voice, we can go away. Going once, going twice. Hey, Aria.
Yeah.
I think they had enough of me.
No, you were great. Thank you so much.
Savan, I see Savan on here. Let me just ask, Savan. Savan is becoming quite an excellent trader, along with Debbie as well. I know Larissa Hines is killing it over there in Australia. And if any of you ladies have a comment, observation, would want to chime in, I would love to have your input. So feel free. This is our family. Just talk amongst ourselves.
Okay, he in his house. Ooh, we here.
Hi, iPhone.
Hello.
Would you tell us who you are? Because all we see is iPhone.
Oh my goodness, this is Yolanda Young. Let me send my picture.
Hi, Yolanda. I can see your face. You have a question for the group?
I'm a new student. So,
Yay, welcome.
yes, definitely. I'm very excited. I was introduced by a great sister, Cashmere Queen. So if you
Beautiful.
know her,
Beautiful.
yeah. So we're definitely, getting on board, and it's a blessing. And that's all I can say for tonight.
Well, that's okay. Well, we appreciate you chiming in, and we want to welcome you to our family. If you see the names on here, everyone here is to help you. Our goal is to help you. And for me, the biggest takeaway whenever I give a message to anyone is stay in demo as long as you possibly can until you've doubled or tripled your account. And
Yes.
you'll be a very happy camper. So if there's anything I could do to help you, you could reach out on Facebook or what have you and have sidebar conversation or anything else that's required. So welcome.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, anyone else? If not, I'm going to turn it back over to Aria and we can say goodnight.
So Tommy.
Savan, you're going to talk. Yay!
So I was in the middle of doing, I haven't been able to watch the whole thing because I was doing a presentation, and I was able to say, hey, you know what? Let me just show you what's happening right now. You have the support through the academy and through the educators. You have that, but let me just show you what you get with us. And I put you right in front of like 2 of my prospects, and they're like, oh, this is a little different than what they expected. So just want to say, when they enroll, I'm going to have to give you a split of the commission.
Well, am I in your group? I think I might have been in your group, so I need a little help on my small legs, so you'll keep me in mind.
So I did catch a little bit of the end of it. With the harmonic scanner, I could see that it's double wicking to the bottom on the hour.
Yeah.
Would you not go down to a smaller time frame and wait for the CSA and possibly the fast to confirm, and then enter
That's
that?
a very, very good point. When I do that, I'm going to do that over here on this chart because I have total control. I can come in here and, I have a much better resolution, my 5-minute and so on. Right? So yes, to answer your question, absolutely. I do not do it on the web scanner. The web scanner is more of a global top-down look. It's like, hey, yo, Tommy, check out Euro USD. That's what I use that for. And then it clears all the noise, and now I can focus on what the scanner is telling me, because I know the scanner is right 85% of the time. Right? The only way I can screw it up is if I get in too early.
Right.
Or if I miss my entry. That's on me. And that's why I keep on drilling down into additional tools.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest mistake that we all make, is entering at the wrong time and not practicing patience.
Yeah, and that's why I call consolidation patience. I don't even call it consolidation anymore. I said, the market's going into patience.
Yeah.
Because if you get in now, you're going to wish you didn't. And that's another rule of thumb. Anyone who's brand new, I'd much rather be outside of a trade that I was wishing I was in than inside of a trade when I was wishing I was out.
Yes.
Because that's really bad. That's painful.
Yeah.
And the other piece of advice I'd just like to offer is I'd like to challenge you, and this is difficult because of our relationship with money. I want to challenge you to get out of a bad trade as quickly as you got into it. Oh, it's going to come back. Oh, no, it ain't. It'll come back. It might come back. It might be next Thursday.
You know what's really funny? That God helps in many areas, but God does not answer your prayers when it comes to trades. At all.
You can pray all day and it may not come back.
Yeah,
No.
that's funny. No, it ain't coming back.
It is not coming back.
No. Yeah, so but it's just those little tiny basic things. And especially as a new trader, as someone who's even new to the tools, if you could just forget about the money and just use what you're seeing, the visual references, go through and if you've gone through the academy one time and you think you're done with the academy, not so much.
Go back through it.
I've been going, yeah, thank you, Debbie. I mean, I am the king of going back, like a Daisy Duncan. When a Daisy Duncan sees me in the hallway, she goes, not you again, right? I'm just there all the time. Because the more it goes into your head, it becomes a reflex. I can look at a chart now and I can feel. Oh, I saw that 4 times and it was a really bad upset stomach I got when I saw that. I'm not doing that again. But you have to have that visceral reaction to something that you see. Because on this chart, we were just talking about flat tops, right? So the next time you guys see a flat top, what are you going to think in your head? Oh, dude, let's go reverse. It's going to go down. Well, this is very new to some people. And you might have to remember, oh, what the hell's a flat top again? Well, now I can look at this chart and I can see the flat tops and flat bottoms in a blink. And look at it. Up, down, up, down. It never tells you how much. It just always does what it does. Right? So that's my point. You're going to get to the point where you're going to trade. I think, I forget the name of the gentleman who says it, but he trades at the speed of thought. So you could look at a trade, you look left, do your indicators, I'm getting in, boom, done. So that was that. Does anybody remember the trade that I was in when I put my crosshair on? The crosshair trade I did? I don't remember what pair that was.
Not sure, but you have a question from Larissa.
Hey, Larissa, how are you, darling? How can I help you?
In the chat, she's asking, do you copy the scan onto your own chart or do you just keep the 2 charts open side by side?
That is a wonderful question. I keep them side by side. I trade with 3 screens. And it's not to be a wise guy. It's just I need all the help I can get. So when I have things up on the screens, I can just glance and look back and forth and see the tools. Because another thing that I'll also put up is, where's my Forex Factory? I'll go over here like this, and I'll do my forexfactory.com, and I'm constantly checking my news, right? So fundamental analysis comes first. And the thing I really like about the TradingView platform is down here, they'll have little circles when news happens, and it'll tell you what's about to happen in the news or when the news, there's nothing happening. Let me see if I can come up with it. Okay, here, perfect. See this little circle? If I click on this circle, it's telling me that Australia house prices and home price index is going to be an announcement on this date at that time. This date at that time. So if you're not trading the news and you're in this trade, do you think if they announce one of these fundamental economic indicators, it might affect the price of the pair? Is that a logical conclusion to draw? Well, if I'm in this thing on a buy, and I get some bad news, am I going to be sorry? I'm going to be in a trade when I was wishing I was out. So I want to make sure that if I'm about to enter a trade, there's no news on the horizon within like 2 or 3 hours on a swing trade. You can scalp that for a little bit, but I'd be flat. I'd be out of a scalp 30 minutes beforehand because the market starts going a little berserk sometimes, right? So that's why I like to have this chart open. And then I also have on another screen, I have this open because this is like someone telling a secret on somebody. The harmonic scan is like a rat. It's ratting out the market. Hey, Tommy, check it out. AUD CAD, 1 hour short. Check it out. Look, look, look. All right. Well, I do that, but I go and I look here because I have additional tools. Larissa, does that make any sense to you? Yeah, and Larissa's freaking crushing it over there in Australia for the people who don't know. I mean, she's trading like a wild woman, and she's got a huge group over there. And I'm very blessed that she's in our organization, so thank you very much. I love you.
Tommy,
Hey, Deb.
Allison put in the chat that USD CAD is the chart that you did for your crosshair.
Allison, you know I love you. USD.
Teamwork.
Yeah. Now let's
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely. That's why it's best when you trade with your friends, family, and your community, because everyone's going to see different things.
We don't leave anybody behind. At the end of the day, it is a team effort.
Yeah, but what I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing my. I didn't say my crosshair. I'm about to swear in Italian, so I'm sorry. So,
Is it the hand gesture?
I'm not doing that either. So what time is it? Let's say it was 15 minutes ago. It had to be at least 15 minutes ago, correct? That we were talking about the crosshairs? Half hour ago?
At least.
Okay, cool. So that was right about over here. And what did I say? I said it was going to roll over and go into a sell. Where are my SARs right now? My SARs flipped. Boom. I've got my flat top. My flat top's the first indicator. So over here, I have my SAR come and touch my price. My red SAR moves first. And I'm like, I'm preparing myself. All right, come on, baby. I know you want to flip. I know you want to do it. Next candle, bada boom, bada bing. Both the yellow and the red flip at the very same time. I am in on this move. I like this because I'm looking for 5 freaking pips. So even if I got here at the end of my candle, did I get my 5? Ha! 4.9. So I would not have taken my profit on this, and right now I'd be riding the red bus. But this is why we don't trade in patience. I don't trade at this time of day because the market doesn't move enough. So anything else?
What? Oh.
Okay, guys, I love you all. I really do appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, and I hope 1 or 2 things that I might have said helped you in your trading. I am here for anyone who wants to reach out, Facebook Messenger, however you can get a hold of me. If you have my number, just call me, and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy.
You're very, very welcome.
Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good night, guys.
Back here next Wednesday, same time. Have an amazing night, everyone.
Thanks.
Happy trading.
Thank you.